What gets me about so many crazy claims is you get the impression that the people making them didn't even try to find a natural explanation. It's one thing to speculate wildly about something for which science still is searching for explanations. Déjà vu, for example. We all experience it, we all know what it is, and science really has not found a convincing explanation yet. It's no wonder that it's such fertile ground for people who like to have their explanations in the paranormal realm. But in other cases, there is such a simple, convincing explanation that you have to wonder why the people making the claim didn't go there. For example, the thing that I ran into on the phenomenally bizarre quasi-religious site, the Watchmen's Cry. The idea is that if you link together on a map places that have had disasters, man-made or otherwise, that it connects all over the world to make this meaningful pattern. The article starts off with a bang, with the writer saying that he had 4 prophetic dreams in one night. It's pretty impressive, considering that precognitive dreams is something that has yet to be established by science. And when you look at what the content of the dreams was, the whole thing kind of turns out to be a train wreck, literally and figuratively. The site goes into great detail about disastrous train wrecks, and how if you map them out and then connect them with lines, or more properly with great circles, it connects with other sites that have had disasters happen, and so on and so forth. It's just ley lines all over again, isn't it? If your search parameters are broad enough, anywhere that's had a bad thing happen in the past 3 centuries, you'll find it links up with other such places. Also, there's a geometric reason why this shouldn't be surprising. Just as 2 points on a flat plane describe a line, 2 points on a sphere describe a great circle. If you then extend that great circle all the way around the Earth, you're bound to run into other places that have had bad things happen. After all, the Earth is a big place, and there are a lot of calamities to choose from. So it's just another example of the Texas Sharpshooter Fallacy. This fallacy gets its name from a story about a driver going across Texas, and he notices on the side of a barn that there's a gigantic bullseye, and right in the middle of a bullseye are 3 bullet holes. There are a couple of old guys standing around, and he stops to tell them how impressed he is. And asks if one of them is responsible, and one of them says, "Yeah, that's me. I shot those holes." The driver compliments the man on his accuracy, but the other man gives a snort and says, "Don't be so impressed. He just got drunk one night, shot 3 holes in the side of his barn, and the next morning he drew the bullseye around them." Anyway, another thing that gets me about the article on the Watchmen's Cry is the fact that they don't seem to realize that any point on Earth has an infinite number of great circles going through it. Since you have an infinite number of choices, you're bound to find one that intersects with somewhere else interesting. And his lack of knowledge of geometry becomes even more obvious when he tells us that 2 intersecting great circles that meet in Houston, Texas, one of them then goes to Rosedale, Maryland, and the other to Bear Creek, Alabama, were at the point of intersection only 900 feet apart. Now, what I want to know from any math teachers in the audience is, how can 2 intersecting lines be any specific distance apart? Where they intersect, there's 0 distance apart. And at any other place, they're going to be however far apart they are, because that's how intersection works. But the author of the site trumpets this as if it were the most astonishing thing ever. It's almost like being excited that you found a triangle with 3 sides. I'll leave you to explore the site on your own. Really, most of it is more false pattern malarkey, nothing mystical at all. He adds geometry to coincidence and finds meaning. And it's no great surprise that it was the meaning he already believed going into it. So, like the Ley Lines people, this guy doesn't seem to be trying very hard to find a natural explanation. I have a hard time comprehending that point of view. Isn't science enough? If you go into science, you get this broad, sweeping, grand vision of everything from quarks to galaxies, and it's awesome all by itself. Isn't that enough? Apparently it isn't for some people, and I just don't understand that. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Our resources are down there, and please subscribe to our channel. Thanks.